Yeah, so I thought we'd just have a little bit to celebrate the life of Roger Corman, as some of you may have known. Just over the weekend, he passed away, sadly. I don't know how old he was.
98, I
yeah,
believe.
98. Wow. American film director, producer, and actor. He's brought a lot of joy to us. He was the founder of New World Pictures and the distribution company New Concord, which has underpinned so much of what we do. So Blood Fist, the first film we did, that was a Roger Corman film. Plenty of the sequels are as well. I don't know if all of them are. Bacanasaur, we've already mentioned Fantastic Four, and Deathstalker as well. I think if we just went past like so many of our films, we'd find even more as well. But those are the ones I were able to get at short notice. But yeah,
co-exec a load of stuff as well, didn't he?
Proliferant. Proliferant? I'm going to say that's a word.
Proliferant.
Proliferated himself.
Profiterole.
But yeah, just wanted to say that as well. R.I.P.
The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Guilty Pleasures, a special edition of podcast where our guest takes us through the film they love that is also universally hated. I'm Joe, and with me as always, the king of the granary baps and the man who introduced potatoes to ancient Greece, it's James.
Yeah, and those granary baps, I don't know that anyone listened to that episode. It is just a car crash.
Not a lot of people listen to that episode because it is a mess.
Good reason.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you give Planty like a litre of Jameson's before we start recording. And also, you've just heard there talking. The last time he was here, he was going on about Hulk Hogan trapping children in a diamond mine. It's John from Dammit Vacant.
Oh man, I forgot about that film.
Yeah,
I think I've repressed it.
Farm remembers.
And our special guest leading us by the hand through his favourite terrible film. He's the best wrestling booker on the West Coast, an all-round diamond and lovely young man. It's Ethan Edwards.
Oh, that was really nice.
Yeah, well, you are.
Yeah.
I like you, these two.
Yeah,
I was genuinely half expecting like the man that's never won a professional wrestling match.
Yeah,
which is actually a fact, true story.
It is actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just made me sad now.
I've been on a winning team, but I myself have never, ever pinned or submitted anyone ever.
We need to change that.
Well,
we need a Rocky-style montage of you chasing a chicken around a yurt and stuff.
The irony is as well, in Plymouth, in the other wrestling company I'm involved with, I'm wrestling the Invisible Man currently as well. And
yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's not to take this down a wrestling thing.
On
this, but like, yeah, my current rivalry is with an Invisible Man and a caveman. So,
this is why wrestling's great, James, and why you should get into it, because it's the most ludicrous thing at times.
I have a lot of questions already.
Yeah, I love that James is just staring at us like, what? And we're like, yeah, he's wrestling an Invisible Man.
Yeah. It's like Les Battersby throwing sausages at Ashley Peacock. Like, that happened the other week. Everything is possible in the world of wrestling, and it all makes sense.
I had no idea what to expect with like Ashley Peacock going to Self Pro, and then I saw the Meat Wagon lads, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right, carry on.
Such a meaty boy stable. Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that, although I could very much for a very long time. Just before we get into it, if you want to keep up to date with the upcoming film choices and that, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you have a special kind of boat and you want to recommend a film to us, you can email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com. Oh, well, as people are away for a bit, Planty's having some time off, James is getting married and stuff, so it's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge of stuff for the next couple of weeks. So we thought we're going to get lovely guests on to take us through the films that like they really love, but were absolutely panned at the box office and are still panned by critics now, which I guess leads us into Ethan, tell us what we're doing.
So today we are discussing Street Fighter, the movie, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia.
The 1994 classic that I walked from my house up to Pillsworth Cinema to watch. Yeah, I've left confused, and it all went downhill from there for young Joe.
Listeners don't know how long that is, but it's a long walk.
It's a good hour's walk. Yeah, up a big hill as well.
Yeah, it's a big hill.
Yeah.
Going to Pillsworth sounds like a posh way of like getting into hard drugs. Well, I went to
It can
Pillsworth
be.
at the weekend.
I think after this is where I got punched in the car park by a lad as well. I don't really remember. Well, I'm walking over to Megabolt to get a taxi. Oh, I got punched. Probably because I watched Street Fighter. I deserved it.
More fight
Yeah, the
scenes
last
than in
20
the film.
minutes is just punching. It's great.
And electric. It's good, you know. Bison and his notorious electric powers.
Ugh.
But before we get into the main bit of the story, James, let us fire up the synopsis matron. So many buttons.
Wow, well, that was the sound of the super story capacitor of impartiality, and it's run out of bechamel sauce, which is why we've had to pick up a side hustle. And that's why today was sponsored by Oven Chips. They're looking at you. And it hasn't seen Street Fighter. Like me, I never saw this when it came out because I was about 5.
All right.
So it came up with this. Celine Street is a small-town romance novelist who ends up struggling to save the family farm, or else she'll have to move back to the small town where she grew up.
Wait.
Things really get going when Celine becomes acquainted with Eugene Fighter, a country squire who nurses his mother, and also a grudge. Things get going when an asteroid barrels towards planet Earth, the one planet that people like, and the two of them must become as thick as thieves. Will they adorn one another in the nude? You may rely upon it. And that's brought to you by Oven Chips. They're looking at you.
I have a lot of questions. She's got to move back to her small town from her small town.
She's on the family farm, which I
Right,
guess would be some
okay.
distance from the small town. Like from here to Billsworth, yeah.
I said, I'm hoping it's not some kind of wet nurse situation with his mother, because that would be incredibly
Hopefully not.
terrifying. But no,
Is it possible we've overtrained that model on Hallmark too much?
yeah.
Throw in some Street Fighter in there, see what happens.
We can
We've
now
not
mix it
watched
up
a
with-
Hallmark in ages. So
I
it's gonna
know,
be
I know,
weird.
I know.
In a
When
few
we-
months' time,
when we get
it'll
back round
become
to them.
Craven.
Helen
I look
Fighter.
forward to it.
The actual synopsis for 1994's Street Fighter the movie. In the midst of a civil war in Southeast Asia, a general intensifies the climate of violence by kidnapping 63 UN delegates. To free the hostages, a colonel leads a group of fighters who will have to use all their skills to be successful. You know, like the game.
Exactly like the game.
I don't remember there being UN hostages in the game. I remember it just
Oh
being
yeah,
fighting.
yeah.
They're not UN though, are they? Because you
Oh.
can't do that.
No.
It
No.
turns out the UN will sue if you do that.
Gee, what? Imagine getting sued by that. Anyway, let's get into this whole mess of nonsense. Oh god, I can't even get into this. Like as I'm reading my notes now, I'm like, yeah, this happened.
I am
Listen.
looking at my notes like, what was that?
So
Mm.
I just want to give you some like background to the film as
Go,
well.
go,
Oh, yes,
Okay.
please.
So the writer Stephen E. Souza, okay, he's making his directorial debut in this film. Okay, do you know what other movies he wrote?
Yep.
I'm guessing James probably does, but I don't look at that sort of stuff.
So
I'm just hoping it all gets covered. I get to knock home off an hour early or something.
the Die Hard,
What?
right? Yep.
So he wrote Die Hard and
He
this.
wrote Die Hard 2. He also wrote Commando.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, starring Angelina Jolie.
Okay, I can see the fall from grace happening rapidly at this point.
He was also involved in Judge Dredd,
Oh
starring
no!
Sylvester Stallone.
All right, well,
in 95.
we'll have no bad words said about that.
Beverly Hills Cop 3,
Not the
the
worst one. of them.
Flintstones movie,
I like the
Flintstones.
Flintstones movie.
Yeah.
Hudson Hawk.
A terrible, terrible film.
Ah, just get that man a cappuccino already.
Oh, it's that bit where they're singing while they're heisting. Just get watches. Like it makes no sense.
And I think he was involved in The Running Man and just
Yep.
bunch of like
48 hours.
Oh,
you know, yeah,
oh,
48 hours.
It's a fairly mixed bag of greatness and absolute dog mess, then, isn't it?
And then as we go through talking about this film, just remember that the almost entire budget got taken up by hiring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia.
Yep.
Literally everything else, they were just like, we are now poor. So
Is that
Do you
why they
want
had
to
people in
know
it?
how much? Like what proportion of the pie went to
I'm
Jean-Claude
going to
Van
guess
Damme?
at least 80% of that pie.
23% of the budget went to him. went to him for this.
For
For
this?
that man.
Is this why they had
It
people who
wasn't-
weren't actors with speaking lines in it?
Yeah. Capcom
Wow.
funded it.
Yeah. So,
Capcom funded this.
Yeah.
Oh
Capcom-
my god! I hope they got a receipt.
So
Well,
Capcom co-funded this film, and essentially it was during the time where they wanted to just like. So the other co-funder was Hasbro,
Oh yeah.
because Hasbro wanted them to make essentially like they wanted more movies that would make toys. So the idea was that it had to be a PG-13 rated movie. So the theatrical release for this film is PG-13.
What?
I'm
This
thinking,
is
was it a
they
contractual
also-
stipulation that it had to be Umbro, Haribo,
Sabutio. He's in there.
Also, Hasbro didn't want to spend a lot of money, so it's basically just repurposed GI Joes with like different faces painted on them, which is why Guile has like tanks and stuff because they need to have
Because
G.I.
I was
Joe
like, also,
tanks.
that's not a very safe way to break up a street fight as well, by driving a tank into people.
It's
But,
effective.
right, also, though, Street Fighter has characters you could very easily make toys of. Surely. Like, they have an established catalogue of characters. Why would you then... Because I know they made a Street Fighter, the movie, The Game.
They made
Well,
two
They
technically.
motion captured them. I've
Yep.
seen footage
Yep.
of that, and it looks like Pit Fighter. Like, it's bad, right?
Mortal Kombat was popular, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's basically why.
Which Van Damme also turned down the chance to star as Johnny Cage in as well to do this movie.
I mean, I like Mortal Kombat, the original one. It's fun. It's a fun, daft film. Wears its heart, and it's got Christopher Lambert in it.
Yeah.
They spent 23% of the budget on Jean-Claude, and how much of that was on coke for him as well, right? 'Cause
10
he's
grand
chewing
a week.
off
If you
his
want.
nut throughout this film. He can
10
barely get
grand.
lines out.
10 grand a week is what
What?
Jean-Claude Van Damme paid on cocaine for this movie.
Which I guess you could try and calculate how much of the budget just then went to cocaine, couldn't you?
But also, the director deferred getting paid for this film so that the cast could get paid to do the film.
That's nice of him. Jean-Claude Van Damme, in no uncertain terms, taking his money and off skiing down the slopes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like the prerequisite to everything. Like,
So it was he'd written other films, but this is his first directorial debut.
Yeah.
so
Right.
he wrote
okay.
and directed this.
Right.
And then,
Hmm.
didn't get paid for it.
I mean, it's become something of a cult classic, but there's only so many times you can buy the DVD before, or as John has done, bought the Blu-ray.
Yep.
The steel.
You told me we were doing this. I immediately ordered the Blu-ray.
Oh,
I'm flabbergasted. 23. How much went on Raul Julia? Do we know that? Because if he didn't get paid more, then that's some injustice. Because he carries this film.
I don't think. Let me.
I don't know.
I
Van
don't know
Damme was
that
probably the bigger
having-
name, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Having written this, I don't know, because right from the bat, we get G&T World News Report. They've come up with that news organisation just from whatever glass they had in front of them.
Yeah.
Whatever they could steal.
We'll call
from the
it something. We'll
Weatherspoons.
call it G&T.
Yeah, and we're getting this news report of all the bad things that are happening in Southeast Asia, in the made-up country of Shadaloo. Is it a country, a
Yes.
city, country?
It's not clear.
Well, no,
I
I
was
think
thinking of it as like Singapore. It feels like it's a city-state
yeah.
style.
right, because they do mention Singapore and possibly Thailand as well. I think so. It's a bit confusing because and they basically tell you like the outline of this plot right from the start. He's captured these 63 UN workers and he's holding them hostage until they pay him. What was it? $200 billion?
Something
20 billion.
stupid.
But yeah,
20 billion? Oh, yeah, because 200
much more
it's
sane.
more reasonable than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Um,
fine.
But yeah,
They're prepared to pay it, so
because he, Bison is a gun running kingpin.
they say
Crime
that he's
lord?
a power mad dictator whose forces are funded by drug money, which it's the type of mainstream media editorializing.
Well, I think
There's certain
Jean-Claude Van
people-
Damme should, he's partially funding this war effort.
He's there standing on this rotating gantry, living his best life, as we all would be on a
I love
rotating
that floating
gantry.
platform. I love that. It's just,
I love
it's
the buttons
no
it
reason.
comes with.
So
It's
good.
amazing.
Yes, the games console.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Little wink to the kids there. Yeah.
We see aid workers being tipped into an oubliette, Joe's
Yeah.
favourite.
I love an oubliette, yeah. But I like the fact there is just a big button called like the UN hostages button that they press later on to
Well,
release them.
you got-
I mean, all films need a UN hostages button.
It's,
Let's
just,
face it.
it's very Batman of having everything labelled with a sticker in case you get confused. Yeah, they put him in there, and why does he need more money?
to get more drugs. to
Oh
sell to
no!
Van Damme.
So like,
I don't-
there's an economical plan from Bison in this movie.
Oh,
like it's wonderful. Like if you actually like, Bison is trying to set up his own currency, isn't he? He's trying to set up his own country.
Bison dollars.
So Bison dollars. So he's trying to get all of that money, and then he's gonna like hold them hostage to get to make sure that his Bison dollar is worth one Bison dollar is worth £5.
I think he's going to kidnap the Queen, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Well, that was that. But it's not the gold standard, is it? You know what I mean?
I mean, I respect the ambition.
Oh, he's nothing if not ambitious. I'll give him that. I mean, if I had a floating platform, I'd be the most ambitious boy in the world.
The thing is, like, if he wants $200 billion, just sell the floating platform idea. Like, he'd make loads of money on that.
Yeah, because they've got some incredible tech.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't got the best tech in the world, which we'll get to when we get to the storming of the Bastille. But...
I remember as a kid, like, watching this film and seeing his big, like, his big monitor with that's made up of all the different TVs, and just thinking how incredible that was.
Yeah.
Like, but then, like, when I was watching it through the other night, I genuinely couldn't see anything on that. On that monitor.
Just get a projector. Yeah. It is that weird thing of that always was the coolest thing of having like a big wall of, but you can't really. The lines are too big to see anything. It'd be impossible. You can watch football on it. Anyway, so he's captured these people, and they have 3 days to pay them, and he starts a big clock, and then it cuts to one day.
Well, he's also fighting the soldiers, and he finds
Charlie,
Carlos Blanca. They're just casually smushing two characters together there.
This is incredible as well, because like Bison wouldn't have known it was Charlie if he hadn't have said.
Yeah. Well, what happens?
His name is Carlos.
He hacks into the network. DJ, the technological expert from the StreetFighter games, and not just the Caribbean dude who does like that swingy around leg kicking thing that cheating guy does in Tekken. I hate that one.
Eddie Gordo.
Eddie, yeah.
I'm
you can just mash buttons and win with that.
I hate Eddie so much.
But they hack into the broadcast across the world to tell everyone, and then Van Damme hacks back in somehow. He gets like Honda to hack back in because Honda's in this, and he's Hawaiian for some reason. Don't worry about that. And he's like,
Let's blame Yokozuna.
Well, yes,
could be.
But he's like, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna get you, Bison. Whoa, Well, actually, that's even too much emotion because he's just dead behind the eyes.
He doesn't know where he is or what he's doing. Yeah.
But he goes, and Charlie, hold on, I will rescue you. And then like Bison's just snapping necks, like Wu-Tang over there, like He is, and he's just like, come at me. And then like one guy swings at him and he just pops his neck. Pathetic. I'd be like, I'll go in the hole if that's all right. Thanks, Bison.
Which is a move he does not try later on in the movie.
No, he's too busy with his magic boots. But yeah, he then goes, oh, hang on, let me just check this one guy who I'm about to kill's neck. Oh, it's Charlie, Carlos Blanca.
Yep, smushing two characters together.
Come with me to the special lounge of Mountain Dew in bags.
And honestly, it's the way Van Damme finishes off this bit as well, where he's like, hey, Bison, watch this, and like slaps his arm and like, so that's threatening.
That'll show him.
You know what? I know what'll get him.
Yeah, it's so good.
Stuff from Steptoe and Son. Yeah. It's. I'd be like, God.
There's the journalist Chun-Lu Zhang points out that he manipulated journalism to do this unsuccessful trace, thus compromising journalism, which is a valid point. But anyway, Kylie appears as Lieutenant
Excuse me,
Cammy
sir?
White. Yeah, her accent changes over the course of this. Also, she's got a UK arm badge on.
Yeah, Cammy is British.
British, yeah.
But she's got an Australian accent. So
Don't worry about it, Cobber.
Best not to think about it too much.
So
Jean-Claude Van Damme's got an Austrian accent or a Belgian accent.
Belgian accent. All-American hero Guile with the Belgian accent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just see the size of his tattoo.
To be fair, it took me until he fell down that mine shaft to realise he dyed his hair blonde. Like, it didn't occur to me at any other point.
Falling down mine shafts will do that to you, though. Won't it? But yeah, Chun-Li says he doesn't like women, does he? Oh no, just journalists. Oh well, that's great. Then just make journalists a target in this war. Then that's fine.
Why not?
But yeah, we've been introduced to characters so quickly.
Mate,
the other week I was watching.
Thrown away. Like
there were fewer Ghostbusters in the latest Ghostbuster film than there are characters in this.
That's
so
Capcom's fault, apparently.
we're going to make toys. We're going to make toys for everyone, even some people that aren't. Oh man, I hope there was a toy for what is it? UN soldier that can barely speak. That was good. Yeah.
Oh,
Who was supposed to play Ryu?
Oh,
What?
Captain Sawada.
Yeah,
yeah.
So the soldier later on who can barely speak was originally cast to play Ryu, but then
By
because he
Capcom.
could barely speak by Capcom, and because he could barely speak English, they recast him. That's why they panned to him so much randomly. In all the
Right,
cutscenes.
right. That makes so much more sense. Wow, you see, we're
Also,
learning.
Capcom really wanted Van Damme, and they're like, the director was like, "So what about what we're gonna do about the accent? He's meant to be the American hero." And they're like, "What accent?" Because they're a Japanese country, and it's all dubbed. All the stuff they watch is dubbed, so they didn't have a clue.
No, just the Western Hemisphere. That's going to struggle with it. Just,
And
a
to be
big
fair,
market.
Kylie Minogue was only cast because the director saw her on a magazine cover.
Because they were filming stuff in Australia.
Yeah,
she's
that-
not
he
the
wanted a
worst
local-
thing in it.
Yeah,
To be fair,
She's not the worst thing in it. She's a bad cammy, though, but she's
it
not
just
a bad
upsets
actress.
me that it wasn't because of Neighbours.
What, the fight scenes are Neighbours?
Yeah, like he's just like flicking through and he sees Kylie on Neighbours and he's like,
Perfect.
If Jason Donovan was in the oubliette and she had to rescue him, though, that'd be good. Or Bouncer, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
If it turns out the Street Fighter movie is part of the Neighbours canon, that'd be great.
It's all part of Bouncer's dream, that weird episode that, yeah.
Ramsey Street Fighters.
which is why
Oh, it's right there!
which is why Giles got a Belgian accent.
Yes, you see. And none of it makes a lick of sense. So they take Charlie down to meet Professor Dalsim,
Yep.
who is there under like duress,
Yep.
but is perfectly okay with war crime. Like
Yep.
perfectly
Oh,
okay.
There's a bit here where Bison says, "After I crushed my enemies, we'll see about getting you published. That should cheer you up." And as a scientist, I'm like, "Yeah, I know people that would work on." They'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, cool. Get me published. I'll do whatever you want."
But yeah, so the plan is that Professor Dalsim, he's going to turn him into the ultimate soldier.
Yeah, he's gonna affect
exposing
his
him
mind.
to weird colour saturation. That's what does it.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch those TVs. That drive me mad, to be fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, like YouTube are the ones we've got to look out for now, because if this is what it takes to create the ultimate super soldier, like those men that watch all that weird stuff that gets uploaded to YouTube that they have to strike off,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? YouTube but does Bison on YouTube?
It's
Possible. I don't
Bison
think
Tube now, isn't it?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Good question.
if that's
Shadow
all it
Lube
takes,
Tube.
if that's all it
You
takes
don't want to
to
lube
create a
tube.
super soldier, it's just all
Well,
those
it's not
IT
that.
tech.
It's not that. And then they put like some Lucozade and some Sprite in a bag near him as well. So that has something to do with it, doesn't it?
The Waterboy crossover.
They
Gatorade.
reverse Clockwork Orange him, basically, is what's happening. The old classic reverse Clockwork Orange. Page 47 of the Karmatra. Right, but while all this is happening, is this where we're introduced to Ryu and Ken?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Ryu, his actual name, but we'll ignore that.
Ryu.
Yeah. That was good. That was like if Arnie did it. Arnie was in this.
I have watched this movie so many times.
And instead of being like karate masters raised by an old karate man like they are in the games, they're like Miami
artists?
Vice people?
Yeah.
Question
Yeah.
mark?
No, they do have a sensei.
Do they?
He is
Yeah,
mentioned at some
because
point.
Ken turns around at one point and says how, like, remember what Sensei said or something along those lines. So there is talk of a Sensei.
And what did Sensei say?
I don't
He
know.
doesn't tell
We
us.
must know.
He doesn't tell us.
He says
Sell all the guns that you
Sell all the guns.
Make sure they're
Yeah.
toy guns.
Sensei
Yeah.
says, listen to Say by Paul, Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. Nothing.
Yeah.
But we also go into like a cage fight bit where Vega is there with his mask on and his claw, which I was like, I like Vega because you could kick his claw off.
Yeah, and his mask in some games.
And he's masking later on, yeah. He's in there stabbing up some dude, which seems unfair that he's got a stabber and the other dude like hasn't. But I guess,
Yeah.
you're gonna go 3 minutes.
I don't think it's best to think about it.
No, and we're introduced again to another character. Again, they're just throwing him out there now, which is Sagat, who is the big, tall Thai boxer in the game, and he's an old man in this one. But he's got an eye patch on, so
Yes, that day it works.
Oh, I mean, I knew who he was instantly because they went, "Hello, Sagat," and I was like, "Oh, it's Sagat."
I think, to be fair, I always like just instantly bought Sagat in this role, like just because of him being like this. I think on Street Fighter 2 he was the boss just before Bison.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
the
So I was
lieutenant,
always
believe.
like, fair, right? That works.
But he is buying guns from Ryu and Ken,
Yes.
but has double crossed them. But the guns turn out to be toys.
Yes. So they're trying to like sell him dodgy guns and like scam him basically, and then Sagat like double crosses them.
But it's a triple cross.
Yeah, and then he just wants more fighters.
And then they just have a big fight, which was great. Like the choreography in this is fun. Because there's a good bit where a guy pulls a gun on him and just hits him with a ping pong ball, and I was like, "That's good."
So I have interesting facts about the choreography now.
Oh, go on.
Full of it. So it's all relating back to Raul Julia and him having stomach cancer during the filming of this film. So they'd set out this thing where they were like, "Cool, what we'll do is we'll do all the Bison heavy stuff, like the monologues and all that at the beginning, and then that'll give everyone time to like practice and get the stunts ready."
Right.
But because of Bison's cancer, they then realized like, oh no, he's not going to be well enough, or he's not going to have like enough muscle mass and stuff like that to do this stuff later on. So they had to flip everything. So there would be days where they would learn the choreography for the fight scene and then go and film it.
No, that's
so literally the scene where Ryu and Vega have the fight with the knife and the claws
in the
and
cage.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they learned that 3 hours beforehand, and that's a real knife that they're using.
Jesus.
Yeah,
23% of the budget went on Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they couldn't get a prop knife.
No.
Let's use a real one. It'll be fine.
This fine. Get one from catering. Yeah. Well, I say catering. Just go in and just, yeah. Oh, my Lord, this is insane. The more I find out about this, the more it's just like, is it a tax dodge for Capcom and Hasbro or something? So they can write this off?
Don't think so.
There's a very real possibility that someone's going to get Baldwined on set. Yeah.
But yeah, here we go. So, for example, Byron Mann didn't hear of his knife fight with Vega until a few hours beforehand, so he asked a Thai stuntman to train him on the spot. The real fight was done with a real blade, so Mann could have been seriously injured if he had not performed his choreography correctly.
Wouldn't get Keanu Reeves doing that, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, they have this fight. They pull real guns on him, and now they have to fight in the cage against Vega with a real knife, apparently. Because yeah, why not? As they're fighting though, Jean-Claude Van Damme just drives like an armored personnel character into the side of the building. He's like, "You're all under arrest." I was like, "You could have crushed so many people, Jean-Claude."
But again, that fight scene wasn't actually in the theatrical release. So they get
I guess
ready
you can't
to fight.
go waving knives around in front of
No,
children.
they get ready to fight, and then it cuts to the truck crashing through.
Yeah, so I was going to say,
they
I
rush
was
at
a
each
bit
other,
confused because my copy does that. Like that fight scene.
You have to put the Konami code in to unlock that scene. But yeah, so he's and also sorry, Chun-Li's assistants are Balrog with the worst widow's peak I've ever seen in my life on a human, and E Honda as well. I think Balrog's supposed to be the cameraman.
Honda's like a video editor.
He's the tech guy again. They're just DJ and let's say Honda. Yeah, right. It's bewildering.
Honda, well-known tech guy.
Yeah, don't work, 100 hand slap it.
Is this the bit where we get "Good morning, Shadaloo"?
Yeah,
all these people on them long boats on the river and stuff.
Because I wondered if that, because I know he's in it. I don't know if Ethan knows this. Is that the voice of the guy that inspired Good Morning Vietnam?
So let me just. I saw this a minute ago. Because
I know he's in it in some capacity, but it's just like
So played by Adrian Croner, who it is the same guy. Yeah.
So that's quite a nice nod, isn't it? I don't know what he adds to this.
No.
Don't know how they got him. I don't know how they paid for him.
He was probably just around on the radio, and they were like,
"Come on, it's Street Fighter. We'll give you a Super Nintendo for your kids.
What's it about?
A free copy of the game.
What's it about?
You mean Street Fighter 2? No, Street Fighter the movie, the game.
The game. Yeah.
I hope they don't make Street Fighter the movie, the game into a movie. That'd be so confusing.
At that point, it just becomes secular, and we all go cross-eyed. Right. But like Chun-Li hates. This is a bit like hates Bison, and also Honda and Balrog do because Sagat or like the Black Hand or whatever it is their secret the secret gang that they have. like the
Yep.
Shadaloo naughty boys.
Shadow Ultras.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. They spread rumors about Honda and ruined his Yokozuna career or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
And
Not
the
clear
same,
what
and then
or how.
Balrog goes, and the same with me. And I was like, you didn't even get a backstory, Balrog.
Yeah. Big Capcom in the final hour, like, put Balrog in there, like, yep, fine, whatever. We'll just
All right, but I'm drawing me centre part on.
yeah.
I also like that the vagueness of spreading rumors about someone as well. Did
Yeah.
you know he sits on the toilet the wrong way round
Yeah,
whenever he has a shit?
Important in sumo, man.
it's good you got a little shelf there for snacks. Anyway, they put Ryu and Ken in prison, in
Yep.
UN prison,
Yep.
for reasons I don't
They
know.
were just around, weren't they? They arrested
Yeah.
They're
everyone.
breaking curfew.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was it. Oh, because there's the great
They
lines. of
mention
anyone,
curfew, and then a
a
helicopter goes past and then announces that it's a curfew. And I thought, that was
Yeah.
great.
anyone
Exposition.
out at curfew will get shot. Oh, that's a bit
Yeah.
harsh.
The announcements in this film are just
There's so
incredible
many
as well.
announcements.
So good.
And also, all of the computer stuff, when he goes like, open the doors, is that a woman doing that? Or is that the computer? Because there's some stuff programmed into that would never be useful for anything else.
The woman behind the door going, doors.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Right. Doors closed. Yeah. And they see them having a fight with some more of Sagat's men in the yard.
Yep.
And Van Damme has the brainwave because he's had this meeting with all the other generals.
Mhm.
No, he's just in charge. He's just like, nah, I do what I want.
Yeah. Well, he is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how the military works, but I'm fairly sure you can't just, like, not anymore, you can't.
90s was a wild time.
It was, especially in the UN, you know, that notorious ass-kicking force.
The thing is, like, it's in the film. They're not the UN. They're the AN.
Yeah, but
But this
they
is
look
it. It's where they're just like,
suspiciously like the
this
UN.
is how. Yeah, that's it. They're like, can we use the UN name? No. All right, just change the letter. It'll be fine.
Just go a couple of vowels up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they went, can't use UN. Use AN, BN. No, AN. There it is.
AN.
First one.
Why go past it? This was all written in one evening. I
By
guarantee.
the guy
you.
that
I'm
wrote
just
Die
convinced.
Hard. Like,
Yeah.
he wrote Die Hard. And
He's
then
like, Jean-Claude Van Damme knocked on his door. I was like, yeah, do you want a toot on this? And he's like, I've got an idea for a film. So they decide to recruit Ryu and Ken to infiltrate Bison's empire
agent.
as a double agent.
And then they can find his location because they don't know where he is, but they know he's in a river delta somewhere inconspicuous on the
Yeah.
river delta,
Yeah.
which is fortunate because they've got all these battle boats and
Don't-
like no other
Don't
equipment.
ruin the boat until we get to the boat.
Yeah,
son.
don't ruin the boat.
The boat is the best thing. I'd have the toy of the boat.
Oh,
And
amazing.
the story behind the boat is even better.
Oh, it is, yeah. Now, they also just mentioned that Vega's been in prison for about 2 minutes and he's constructed a claw out of wood.
I think he just does it wherever he goes. He just
Yeah.
whittles like claws out of boredom.
Yeah.
Like he's a very handy fighter without the claw. He could.
Yeah.
It's a touching vulnerability, isn't it? That he couldn't survive without the claw. The claw is him.
It's his emotional support claw. Yeah.
But it's the fact that like they just cast the most handsome man in the world.
He
just-
always
Like for I mean, it makes sense for the characters. That it's actually like
Yeah.
incredible casting.
for that
Yeah, it's
one. Yeah.
For that one guy, it's just like, how about we get the most handsome man in the world so we can put him behind a steel mask, but then only show him in the steel mask once.
They've ignored all the rest of the law, but this bit they're like, yep, we're going to get Vega sorted. We're going to get him
This
right.
gives me an idea for a film: The Man in the Steel Mask.
Look, one of my nephews makes claws for a living, and I need to get him some work. Right, so we're having Vega. But they have this fight in the yard. Van Damme, Guile. See, he's Van Damme, is he? He's not Guile. Sees them, and he's like, he recruits them. But they're all eating tracking devices as well. There's so many tracking devices at one point.
It's like macaroni cheese that they're eating, so it's funneled into the little pieces of macaroni.
You should probably see a doctor.
It's crunchy, this, isn't it? Yeah.
But they have a prison break. They do one prison break, and they on their escape they shoot Guile on TV because Chun-Li's filming it because she's having an interview with him or something. I can't remember what's happening. It's inconsequential, but they shoot him, and Sagat's like, "Wow, cool! You can be on my team now." And they're like, "Yes, the plan worked brilliantly."
Yep.
Also, we've not even mentioned Zangief yet as well, who is
the standout comedy performance from the because by Raul Julia and Bison, but like yeah.
He's in the
Zangief,
back. He's in the background of some shots, and he just does dumb shit constantly.
it's just his,
Like-
you know, he knows that like what is it? Maximize his minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, he's in the background of a lot of them. So it's him. DJ is the So
Well,
right, I got
Oh,
my notes.
and
My
she-
notes
she
just go.
chucks
It's
something,
the
doesn't she?
scene.
She
throws
she
a
chucks
homing
a
device
tracker.
on it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
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 And we cut to Bison as well, and it's like DJ's like, "That's great news, but Guile's dead." And he's like, "On the contrary, I mourn.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
looking forward to facing Guile on the battlefield."
On the field of battle.
Yeah.
But this is it. That's great. Like,
It's so good.
it's great writing for a villain to just be like, no, I don't just want the bad guy to lose. I want to beat him.
Snap some
Like,
necks.
that's the point.
Yeah.
I want to snap some more necks. Yeah.
I want to snap his neck. The
then
rope
comes-
not taken.
gotta-
That's
you
what he
gotta-
said.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
just lovely. It's lovely stuff.
He's got a hankering for some snapping.
The whole speech about
Send
how
me
he's the
3.
guy. So good.
That'll see me through. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
He
also
has to
get
just kill some
we get-
chickens like a nicotine patch. Yeah.
We get a cut to the laboratory, and I've put him down. Is it Dalsim? I
Yes.
put him down as evil Leonard Cohen anyway, because he does. He
But
does
he's
look
not
like an
evil.
He's not evil.
He
though.
doesn't.
Not
he,
evil.
He is at this point.
He just
though.
wants to do yoga and shoot fire at people.
Which he doesn't
He's
do.
conflicted.
There's a bit later on when he falls into the Lucasade, and I thought he's going to get powers now. No!
It
He
just makes him
doesn't.
lose his hair at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't even levitate or anything.
Why aren't his limbs stretchy? I don't understand.
I mean, yeah, the less said about T-Hawk.
Oh, we get a model city as well, Bisonopolis.
Oh yes, Bisonopolis.
Voice.
There's
I also
always
like
got to be
the-
a model city in something. It
I
marks
love
it
the
a cut
fact
above.
that he's like got kiosks in there. He's going on about hot dog stands and stuff, and I'm like, that's that's the,
The food
important
court should be
bit.
twice as big.
Food court. That's-
He was only a few years away from the invent of civilization, and he'd been really happy.
Oh, this is a city for ants. Yeah. Is this where they try to have where Sagat and Sagat and Bison have like a rendezvous and they have like a
Oh,
party?
it's a little bit after.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little bit after this.
He
what's
has a mad
before
rant.
that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got-
Guile does his big rant, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick Bison's ass. Oh, so nice. Well, I don't
He
know
says
about you, but I'm
he's not mad
shitting
and
my
then goes on
pants.
this. He wants to breed a race of super soldiers to take over the world, and then the henchman
Not for
afterwards
evil.
is like, "It's beautiful."
Yeah.
That's Zangief, mate. That's Zangief.
Yeah, Zangief, yeah.
Is that Zangief? Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's just a sea of faces at this point.
It's a blur. Like they should wear badges. It would help. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but
if you're not
they're
familiar with
making
Street Fighter characters. It's quite hard.
they're making Charlie watch horrible things.
The dark
and-
side of
and-
YouTube.
And yeah, that's what I'm calling it now. and pumping him full of stuff because it keeps going muscle mass at 17%, muscle mass at 8. You don't need to do it every percent. Like 5's enough. Like
Yeah, I was going to say the pace of that as well, going up very fast.
8 CE.
That's also why Dalsim was so like ready to fuck off Bison, just because he just wanted the noise to stop.
He is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Dalsim's
it's
going
irritating,
for a
isn't it?
wee.
I mean, at one point, I
Just narrate.
thought
it.
it was like a chimp hurrying across the screen or something. I was like, "What's that gonna? Why is that bad?" It just sounds like an angry chimp.
But
He
yeah,
forgot to hail to the
also
chimp.
Charlie has started going green and his hair's gone orange for no reason.
Yeah.
It's
He's turned
because of
into
the
one of
drug.
them trolls, isn't it? He's planning to comb his hair afterwards.
Oh man,
Uh,
at the end of the
Drugs,
film,
kid, they'll make your hair go orange.
yeah, if, at the end of the film, Bison put him on a big pencil. That'd have been good.
Start singing songs with Anna Kendrick.
I've never watched
way.
one of them for fear that like I'd
No,
like them.
seriously, watch the most recent one. It's incredible.
Oh, okay.
That next time I come on, that's what I'm talking about.
So right, so we've had
Chun-Li is
Bisonopolis.
in the media van. Yeah.
Yes.
We're trying to track the lorry's trying to track. No,
Yeah, they're
they
trying
put
to.
the thing in the lorry. They're trying to track the lorry.
Yeah, they're trying to track
Yeah.
it with
With
a
the
spectrometer. Yeah,
but
with
the
a
signal's
wave.
coming from within the city.
And there's
So-
also another secret signal. It's like,
Mm.
what? Because as I'm saying, he's eating about 40 tracking devices at this point. He can't go past any big magnets.
Is the next scene not the one where Chun-Li reveals herself to be like a silky ninja?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
because they have
cool.
to.
Yeah, be like, oh, swerve, Guile's not dead.
Yeah. And
So
Why
she
did you
goes
do that, Kyle?
into this building, sneaks around and goes into the morgue, which for some reason is decorated with an anatomical skeleton and body parts and glass jars.
I would think
It's
Giles
like, what
just
is a morgue, really?
How
It's
else
just
would
a
you know
lab,
it's a
isn't it?
morgue?
Yeah, I was going to say bodies. Like
Yeah.
whole bodies.
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 Yeah, no, well,
But also, he's living the gimmick, Kyle, at this point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he's
he's just
in a
sitting
body
there.
bag, right? All he had was some blood packs on him. He didn't like take a sleeping tonic or anything.
Well, yeah, but again, why? Clearly, he's been there for a long time as
That's
well.
what I'm saying.
Outrageous.
Hours.
Time has passed, and he's
It's
just like,
why has no one come to get me yet?
All
He
the
could have
other
just gone-
chiefs of staff are just sat there at that table, like,
fuck,
oh,
he's
what do we
gone.
do now?
Absolute arsehole of a man. He's not even American, I've heard. But yeah, it's the fact he's laying in a body bag, and then he just wakes up, and I'm like, were you waiting for someone to come in to shit him up? Because I would.
You would, wouldn't you?
I've
Everyone
stood
thought you were
behind
dead.
doors for
You
hours waiting to jump out at people.
Well, he just wanted to do his Undertaker big setup.
Yeah,
didn't he?
all right.
I mean,
Woo, look at
who
your
amongst
wrestling
us
knowledge.
wouldn't do the same? I know some.
Um,
Yeah, so he rips off his blood pack, and at that point, she figures out his plan.
she
which is
figures it
amazing.
out. Mm, genius.
But she says, "Well, hang on, I've got a 20-year vendetta."
Vendetta.
And he's like, "Well, I don't care."
Like,
Kylie Minogue.
He just tells her to go away. Arrest this woman.
Yeah.
Uh,
And again, I know it's not the UN. Can the AN arrest people? Are they a police force?
I mean, any
you get
army can be
UN
a police force if it
special-
really wants to be.
Well, I don't want to get into
I
that
think
whole
like
Very philosophical.
viper's nest of
Yeah, yeah.
all
war
coppers are
crimes have been
bastards.
tried by the UN. I'm sure of it.
I
All
have
right.
more guns, therefore stay here.
Alright. It should be. They should do all UN trials. Should have all of the UN come out on body bags, and then all of them sit up at the same time. And like, we will pass judgment. That'd be fun. Make it more entertaining,
Anyway, she's led away by Kylie Minogue and then suddenly defenestrates herself.
Yeah.
Again, big tick. I
Yes.
wanted that from a film.
Always a big fan of
What
someone
a
going through a
screw
window.
up, says one guy.
Why are you?
And
I would
then,
say that
Van
was
Damme
ad
says,
libbed, but it's not.
"What a woman,"
What
says
a
Van Damme
woman.
after it. It missed the opportunity to screw her, sort of thing. But screw you. All sorts of japes,
Smashing. Yeah, loads of stuff they could have done.
Yeah.
But then for the following scene, they literally take a page out of like the Game of Thrones like playbook of like how time works.
Yeah.
Because the next scene is the bit with Bison and Sagat.
in Shadowloo.
And, yeah. And
'Cause-
like very quickly, like you'd see like Honda and Balrog as like the entertainment.
Well, they're having a big party
Oh,
to
yeah.
celebrate doing some good drug dealing or
Yeah.
gun
This
running.
is at the
weapons
Thieves
dealing.
Market.
Being
isn't it?
warlords.
Yeah.
Because she
Yeah.
said, "I'll meet you later at the Thieves Market," and I was like, "The what?"
The Thieves Market,
and
the
it's-
Thieves Market. You know, have you never
It's where
been?
weapons get sold by throwing multicolored fairy lights over things like tanks.
Yeah.
Do you think would
You want
To be
don't
fair,
add to
to
the
look
luster
good.
of
Like-
the tank? Really?
There's a bit of quite racism here where there's a heavy Middle Eastern voiced man going, tank for sale, like that. Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah.
And a big helicopter, only used once in Desert Strike. Yeah, it's a bit.
Not so good. Yeah.
But also, right, it's not like that market can't move. It's not like it's a thieves market where it moves from night to night and you have to have the special code to know where it is. Because it's got fucking helicopters there. Like, you can't just fly them around the city and park them up. Right, we'll have it here tonight, lads. But yeah, but they're having a warlord jamboree. And Bison and Sagat are sitting there. Honda and Balrog, the entertainment. He cuts a barrel on his tummy. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yep.
I mean, I've watched
But
worse.
the thing is, this was the perfect chance to do the barrel bit.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
They could have all the car bit. This would have been the like, oh, watch how long it takes me to destroy a car. There it is.
It's right there. You're right. I didn't even
Mm.
think of that.
Yeah,
Missed
yeah.
opportunities.
And one of many.
They seized the opportunity to put Capcom on the barrel,
Yes.
though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
Good job it wasn't a red
Gotta
one.
get that
'cause they
branding in there.
explode. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chun Li does that rope dance, spinny rope thing from the ceiling, which I always think I'd just throw up. And then they do this bit, and is Bison trying to pay with Bison dollars to Sagat? And
Yes.
Sagat basically
Yes,
tells
he
him
is.
to fuck off.
Yes.
Which she would. But this is where we get his
in
great.
part of the country.
This is where we get the great plan about he's going to make the $1 bison worth £5 British because he's going to kidnap the Queen and hold it a ransom until the Bank of England agrees. I was like, I don't think they can.
I'm not sure that's how
not
economics
it
works.
And then I put, but her face is on them. Very clever.
Yeah, but by that thing, Eddie
don't
Hitler's would have worked because it had, what was it? Prince Charles fisting Mr. McHenry from the Magic Roundabout. Like, but yeah, he then offers him half the country or something, or a bit of the country. 26% of the country seems to be the going rate. And they're like, oh, because they square up and stuff. And then is this when like Chun-Li tries to like whack him?
Yeah. So they start hearing like the TV, and they're like, "What's this?" And then
Chun-Li's like, "I think we should go and look at the TV," which massively pays off.
Let's look behind this one thing. Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, Ryu and Ken are there as well because they've been ingratiated. Have they got their special tops now as well?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
They're in suits at the minute.
Oh.
And Ken's like, "Yo, I'm gonna hit that," and then doesn't. But then we get the bit where it's like, are they live streaming? Have they pre-recorded? Like,
not clear.
How does this work?
I don't know because it's
why
not
did you give them notice as well? That's my other question.
I can tell you the exact reason. It's to get across the most quotable line in the film. And I don't even mean like the most quotable, the one I have used more so in my daily life other than anyone else.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yep, and it's where Zangief turns around and goes, "Quick, change the channel."
It's good. It's a good line.
It's good.
I laughed. I forgot it was in there, and I laughed at that point because
I did. That's not what I thought you were going to say actually, because that was a good line. But before that, Sagat announces that the conclave is over. I was like, what?
I'm going to do that all the time now. I'm going to end this. The conclave is over. Go in peace.
It's just the opportunity for like any time like your kids start watching some weird programs. Quick, change the channel.
This conclave is over.
But yeah, so their plan is to blow up all of his arms.
Yeah.
But they give him warning.
Yeah.
By driving the van into it.
Ryu and Ken get credit for like uncovering this plot, but they uncovered it themselves. They showed them a video.
Like,
they kind of.
But she revealed themselves to Ken and Ryu, but not in the way that they wanted.
No.
So they know that the load is going to blow, but also not in the way they wanted.
Street Fighter X, rated
X plus Alpha. Yeah, that's the game.
Because they've thought, and they're like, no, we're on the same side. And then they immediately go, "It's them over there, get them!" And then, you've done a betray on us. And they're like, "Yeah, sorry.
We're on the same side as double agent." Oh, hang on, they did a double agenty thing. Gosh, damn it!
Yeah, it's confusing at this point, isn't it? It's like Memento. You
mean Finding Dory?
Both my parents fell out of lighthouses. Separate incidents. Best line in it. So yeah, he puts Balrog and Honda in a torture chamber.
Yep.
And makes Chun-Li dress up sexy.
Yes.
And to be taken to his chambers, which is it's another trope in these films, isn't it?
I know.
Taken to the chambers. Check.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to start speaking like this, I think.
So the woman that wants to murder me is, you know what? I'm going to try and hit that.
Yeah. You know what? You know what'll get her going? I'll show her my selection of hats on this hat tree. As I change from formal conclave bison into smoking jacket bison.
The velvet hat for me.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's so good.
Because it's
it's
like Flash Gordon in its campness. It's so Honda's getting whipped and he's like laughing, which I thought was quite fun as well. Because then the guy
we've had a lot of films with whipping scenes in it.
Yeah, but this is
I'm a little bit worried about the algorithm now.
But like the torture goes, stomps off, and he's like, "I am sumo. My body can be in one place and my mind the other." And Balrog has his mind blown by this.
But the thing isn't sumo just push.
Yeah, but they're kind of like incredibly muscular as well and stuff. It is like a revered thing of like
there is technique to it.
Yeah,
I'm used to pain from pushing and pulling.
I don't know if one of those guys
Zelda
slapped you. I'm going down.
Yeah, I think it is a bit I don't know. I've never watched it. I started watching that Japanese channel up in the news things the other day, but it was someone going on about leaves, so I turned.
It's great. It's great when you get to the end. I caught the end of a Suno tournament once, and they bring out all the trophies and everything, but they're weird trophies. Like one was a giant tea set and everything, and it's just like, what is going on?
New Japan. They don't
Oh,
have,
sounds
they
like New
have
Japan.
belts, but they also have just massive like football trophies, and they come out with like 2 trophies, and you're like, what? Why? Yeah.
Look, we're gonna need this trophy needs to be bigger than the actual person lifting it.
Yes.
Yes.
I kind of want to see the tea set trophy though. I must look that up.
I think he like lifted the lid and had a look in. Like that was part of it. Like you have to admire the tea set, and then it gets taken away
for next year. So yeah, they're doing that, and then we get this tremendous scene between Bison and Chun-Li, which is the bit that everyone knows.
Yes.
From this, where Chun-Li expresses her hatred for Bison because he killed her father, shot him in the back as he ran away. Go on, Ethan. I know you're dying to.
No, I don't think it's one of those where like this bit's incredible as well, because if you watch Bison like the whole time through as well, it's like he's being told the story for the first time.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is a nice little story. Okay.
Also, while he's going about mixing a cocktail, putting some smooth jazz on, lighting the fire, like he's thinking, I'm in here. Like, she's just going, you killed my father. He's like,
well, he's just like,
oh, it's ready.
Sounds
Like this,
me.
is it? Like, it's bewildering. But
big Charles Dance mechanical penis vibes from this. He has a portrait of himself as Napoleon as well.
Yes.
Again, these little touches in there are brilliant.
I think there's like there's like something to do with there's a clown portrait or something.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I'm assuming it's a famous work of art, and they've
it's
just
a nod to something.
Sort of. It is a nod to something. So it is something to do with a serial killer who was a clown.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yes,
that's the one.
Oh, okay.
It's a nod to him. Apparently, I think he used to do paintings of clowns.
He did do paintings. I don't know whether he did them clown. I thought they were.
So he has a John Wayne Gacy portrait.
Right.
In his thing.
That
I think
sense.
Is the vibe.
I also love the skull motif, like his fire is a skull. Like it's are we the baddies vibes? Yeah.
But how do you know?
He's also decorated the dojo as well with it's got that Great Wave painting in it.
Yeah,
which is nice. Girly pics, Soviet Martian tunes on the radio. I mean, what more could you wish for?
It's a hodgepodge of stuff. But so anyway, she tells him this story, and go on, John. Do you want to do it?
I won't do it justice, but I'll try.
Go for it.
Tells him a story. He says, I'm sorry, I don't remember any of it. For you, the day Bison graces your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
It's just masterful writing, isn't it? Like,
so good. And just the delivery.
Clocked off early that day.
Yeah. Literally, he delivered that one line and he was like, nah, get a bag in me. Like, guys.
And she's like, oh, but you didn't know. I then traveled the world for many years, learning all the martial arts, including escapology. And she kicks fuck out of him for a bit.
He also says that she's harmless beforehand because he knows women. Yeah. No one's ever seen her in combat. She's like, that's what I wanted you to think.
He's obsessed with combat as well. Like, and she's doing all right
as well. I've never seen you in combat. It's another thing that I get the shit kicked out of you if you go around saying,
this conclave is over as you run off. But then it gets messed up because the Chuckle Brothers show up.
Yeah.
And it distracts her for a minute.
Well, don't they go and rescue Honda and Balrog?
Yes.
Who then strangle them, and we get a good bit of we're on the same side.
Yeah.
But then they all bumble in there like Keystone Cops and ruin it.
Yeah.
Giving Bison just enough time to get into his custom-made fume cupboard? Question mark.
Yeah, he's got a panic room and everything in there.
Yeah, and then he panics, and then the room fills with gas. Quick, get out of here. Oh, no, that door's shut. We had so much time to get out of here instead of just looking at that bit of glass.
But it's that trope as well when there's like gas filled in the room and it's like, it's gas. Like saying the words is what brought that cough up.
Well, Bison is just stood in there grinning maniacally, like tremendous.
He's having the best time.
The facial expressions are incredible as well.
He's so good.
we've got Van Damme now.
Oh Christ!
I believe he's gotten to his boat. Does anyone want to introduce the
Oh!
extra character to this?
Ah.
Stealth boats.
No, is this no? Before that, we get an Englishman showing up, going, "Stop it!
Not
go
just
home."
any Englishman, though. It's not just any Englishman. It's Simon Callow.
I know.
Yes.
Who is
Callow!
must have been on holiday nearby and wanted to earn a quick 500 quid. Like,
Yeah,
'Cause-
he'd lost some money on the casino or something.
yeah,
He just-
Like,
He-
he went on to be in front of the opera, but he was in Street Fighter.
but all he does is go. The UN have said, sorry, the AN have said, no, you need to pack up and go home because we're not fighting this war anymore. The war is lost.
Madam Secretary has said it. And
Madame.
that made me feel a little bit like,
Mm.
what's that about then?
Yeah, Madam Secretary, the horse. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think this was just a
I
bit
don't know. It's just a weird
to
sort
show
of
that
like,
Guile's a rebel.
Yes.
it's got like Hillary Clinton, anti-Hillary Clinton vibes to it. That bit.
It's just
It's sort of
94.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Clinton president. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just something about illegitimate power, isn't it? But yeah.
But they've agreed to pay Bison to release the hostages anyway. And
Yeah.
Guile's furious, and he does a big "they'll take our lives," but with none of the
because he asks
passion.
him like two things. He says, "Who wants to go home and who wants to stay here with me?" And everybody cheers
Yeah.
because everybody's just been asked two separate questions.
Which one do you want us to cheer for, boss? No, he's like, if we go home now, then all those people that died, it would have been for nothing, and all this sort of stuff. And then he's like, right, let's go to the boats and muck about. Woo, paddle boats.
Boats.
And then we get down the boat. Oh, we get more of Captain Sawada as well. I will fight with you.
yeah, he's dumb.
But it's so the boat. Oh, the boat.
Yeah,
The boat.
So the
crime
originally this was going to be like an air assault, but the Thai government basically said, "Nah, not happening, mate." So during one of his cocaine benders, Van Damme came up with the idea of a stealth boat.
For him, it was a Tuesday.
I thought the stealth boat originally Bison was going to use it to escape.
Oh,
We bought this boat, right?
Yeah, at some point we constructed the stealth boat and we need to do something with it.
Van Damme's like, "I'll use it." Oh!
Yeah.
Jean-Claude, you know it doesn't really go stealth. It will go stealth. I'll put my visor down.
Electric.
What's that about? Why did they put the visors down when you press the stealth button and then they put it back up again?
It's
straight
got a
away?
big button with stealth. Beware, visors needed. Like, so yeah, there's three of them in the cool boat. Everyone else is like hunting along. Like I was like, this is
It's a
rubbish.
suicide mission. Well, I'll be going.
Well, yeah, well, all right then, bye.
Doesn't somebody at the back of the room say you'd have to be an idiot to go on that mission? And he goes, "I will do that mission."
I just want to look cool in front of my friends.
Yeah, I got Kylie Minogue. I might be in.
It's a
Right,
well,
he was
yeah,
in.
go on.
He was.
Behind the
there is
scenes gossip.
There is a story of right. I'm gonna have to get into the Van Damme cocaine stuff now, aren't I?
I mean, it wouldn't take much to get Kylie off a nut. She's about 2 foot tall, isn't she?
So Jean-Claude Van Damme, we've established the 10 grand a week cocaine habit. They actually hired a wrangler for Van Damme to like make sure he got set in time and stuff. But the guy just kept giving him more cocaine and was like a worse influence on him.
This is the worst wrangler.
But like, so
The mind wrangler.
Wait. When you hired a cocaine wrangler, was that to get him cocaine or off the cocaine? Oh, I
you
didn't
should have
read
been
his
clearer in the job description.
I didn't read his CV, boss. Sorry. Jeezy, Pete.
Van Damme's off his tits on cocaine, and he gets to the hotel for the first day of filming. Now, the story I've heard, I heard it years ago, but like, essentially, he was given a room, and he was like, "No, fuck that, I want the presidential suite." And they were like, "No, we've given you that. No, I want the presidential suite, or I'm not doing the film." And then once
it's not
they give him
coming
the
out of my
presidential
budget.
and then
Yeah.
once he'd done the presidential suite, he was like, "I want a gym in here as well." So they put a gym in there, and then
So they
at one
got Jim
point-
McDonald.
Yeah.
and then at one point, he locks himself in his hotel room with Kylie Minogue for 3 days.
Oh my God, she must have stories. It's just Jean-Claude Van Damme coked off his nuts doing the splits in front of her going, hey.
How many
how's
times
it-
do you reckon he's done like split cocaine?
Oh.
Oh.
But also, like, if he's got a gym in there and he's like on the gear as well, he's gonna be sweating. Oh, it's
Can you imagine how good those workouts are, though? Ah!
As his heart tries to escape from his body. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Kylie Minogue was there to like show the little hands, just push it back in. I kind of want to phone Kylie Minogue now and go, what happened in them 3 days?
But as well, like apparently he was like a nightmare on set to work with.
I can believe
I
it.
can believe that.
Right, but then apparently she was like the loveliest person to everyone on set. Like, they were like, it's just like everything of them, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, but they banged for however long in the middle.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme's cocaine-riddled, sweaty body on.
Oh,
No. Anyway, they get into the crime-solving boat. Night boat. There's always an inlet or a
stealth
fjord.
boat so much.
Right? And they're driving along, and they're like, oh, we're going to have to take out the radar stations.
Yep.
So they do, with a little gun, little minigun pops on.
In their stealth boat.
Yeah. I mean, in a stealth boat that leaves behind a wake and it's very obvious where the boat is.
I love it when there's a visual and you're like, there's a boat there.
There's a boat. It's clearly a boat.
Yeah, because they put it on that monitor, and instead of having like that as one of the just all the screens show a big boat coming towards them.
The one thing we didn't expect.
I know what a boat looks like.
Even if I can't see the boat, I can see where it is because that's displacement of water.
That's stealth.
But
as
it's
well,
the fact
apparently.
that happens later on, where like Bison's watching the screen and you can see the water moving, and he's like, "Something's wrong here."
Well, DJ goes, and forgive the accent, boss, there's something wrong. As I'm like, oh, they couldn't have got a proper man. Yeah, because the radar stations are exploding exponentially and randomly of their own volition.
Radio stations do that sometimes. You got to be careful.
It's BBC Radio 1 is always exploding from what I hear. And so they're like, we're approaching the outer perimeter, switch to stealth mode. Everyone put your visor on.
Visors down.
Visors down, lads.
Why? Why?
Jean-Claude Van Damme, they do like a 3, 2, 1, stealth!
Put the visor down.
Yeah,
There's nothing like screaming stealth at the top of your lungs.
And it looks cool. Like the boat goes all electric and disappears. And then they lift the visors up. And I'm like, still don't understand the visors.
No, what did the visors do?
We'll never know. Like many things, what happened in those 3 days, what the stealth visors do. Some things are just a StreetFighter mystery. But as they're and then like Kylie goes, "Sir, there's a minefield up ahead," because she's Mary Poppins at this point.
Yeah.
And Bison gets on his floating platform and starts mashing the Street Fighter 2 control panels, and explosions just go off. It's great. This is the best bit of the film.
For launching the mines and stuff as well is just like
It's so good.
because we knew there'd be a boat of this exact shape and dimension, so we pre-programmed that in for you.
Yeah.
Start talking, lass, out the back. I've got to draw pictures now. Jesus Christ. Launching mines. Yeah, and he explodes the well, they're like, "Oh, sir, we're going to explode if we don't get out." And he goes, "Let's all get out the boat then." It's like, this is fucking stupid.
Well, why do they, so they've got the mines underwater, and he presses the button to release the mines so it comes to the surface and then explode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas if you just left the mines there, I mean, this is like First World War technology, isn't it?
No. I'm
Boat
assuming
goes
it's
into mine.
No,
I'm
they
assuming
did not
it's
have
so.
Street Fighter arcade sticks in the First World War.
Yeah,
That's a key element.
you never heard that in the letters home from Tommy in the trenches, did you? Jenkins beat me at Street Fighter 2 Hyper Turbo Edition today. And the rat ate through a cable. No, I'm assuming it's so his boats could still go up and down the river, but if they were ever attacked, they would deploy the sea mines. I think that's...
Now, you see, he is never depicted as having boats, but he is depicted as having a helicopter.
Mate, I think we're reading too much into the...
As we've discussed, the boat was a last-minute addition.
They weren't allowed to. I saw one of the facts as well, and it was like, because the government didn't let them, and the IMDb facts are always like, "Oh, did you know?" Blah, blah, blah. It's like there's a nod to the fact that they weren't allowed to do this in the film. It's like, "Oh, what's that?" Air is impossible. Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's not really a nod, it's a throwaway line, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
There's another thing about Myanmar that's right next door. Apparently, there was some political instability, and that's blamed a lot on why they weren't allowed to mess around nearby. But I think it's just the Thai government were like, "Nah, you're not doing it.
No.
I don't like this.
No.
You've got a boat. Use your boat."
you know how many people we've had to put in
Van
prison
Damme
for
just there with
trafficking?
cocaine on his nose, like,
A stealth boat is perfectly reasonable. Go and do your stealth boat.
To be fair, that stealth boat was powered by Jean-Claude Van Damme's legs just out the back, going like that.
Just
Well,
peddling away.
That's what cocaine was for.
Yeah, a little picture of Kylie Minogue on a string just in front of him, like trying to get to her. Allegedly.
Put your visor down, you'll be invisible now.
It's a 3D visor. That's what it is. It's just I can touch her. It's perspective. Yeah.
Oh, everything's in 3D.
Everything is in 3D. So yeah, the boat explodes. Let's take a swim. Guile says as he undoes the stuff. They all get out, not wet. All walk. I thought we might get Kylie Minogue in a wet top or something because there's normally something like in
Yeah, normally that's a trope we normally do.
the one with the robot man on the caterpillar track legs. Tasha Yar gets all in a wet t-shirt, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
I remember that one. And then
Can't
he
remember what
goes, as they're assaulting three of them, with like a pistol each between them. No one thought to bring any guns on the stealth boat. Stealth boat's enough. We don't need to bring supplies. They'll never expect
That is the plan,
stealth
isn't it?
boats.
Approach Bison's lair, stealth boat, question mark,
Man.
success.
Game
Win.
over. Oh, as he explodes the boat, he goes, game over, which is great as well.
Oh,
Just in the
yes,
trailer,
that
yeah.
is
So good.
I mean,
We have
that justifies them making the game. Sorry, the game of the film of the game.
Yeah.
Christ, I've gone cross-eyed. It's happening. So they're assaulting it. Well, they're assaulting it. They're walking up a hill, hunched over a bit. And Guile goes, "What's the headband about, T-Hawk?" And I was like, "Oh, right, that's T-Hawk, is it? Like the Native American dude? Because he doesn't look very Native. He
Doesn't
looks
look much
Puerto
like
Rican. No.
No.
Looks
He
like
doesn't.
John
No, but isn't,
Leguizamo off Wish.
So the guy who plays Cigar, I think, is Native American. So
It's
the
all-
casting for this is all over the place, isn't it?
God,
The
this
Gat's
is-
eye patch is also on the wrong eye.
Well, it depends. He's facing left or right. Which is
all his scenes were filmed in a
Very good
mirror
point.
because of ghosts, let's say.
We have
But
a bit
also-
now with oh god.
Go on. No, mine's really like mine. There's a Wilhelm scream in a second.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
right, I missed the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
There's a short cut to Leonard Cohen and the guard having a fight because he started showing the
Oh,
prisoner.
the guard is
pictures of-
reading like Hot Shadaloo Babes magazine or something.
Yeah, he starts showing him home videos, turtles, birdsong, children laughing, and the Martin Luther King Jr. "I Have a Dream" speech.
Now,
it's a confusing set of videos.
yeah, because he's up
It
to
is.
like, is it like 55% of Charlie's brain is messed up by evil YouTube? As
Evil
we've
YouTube.
Yeah, as we established. And now he's trying to counteract that by people's kids. Now, I'd be more angry, to be honest.
Oh.
Because kids laughing. Oh, makes me
But
flesh
also, red hue bad, green hue good.
Yeah. It's 3D.
Like, oh,
Like the visors.
oh
See?
my
It's
God.
all becoming clear.
That's it.
But it's the fact that like he sneaks over to it like walking over. It's like if you just walked over with a clipboard and be like looked at some stuff, press some buttons, he'd never know. Like, but yeah, then they have a fight. He's Charlie's now good. Well, he's puppy.
I like the fact that they can measure Charlie's goodness in a percentage.
I like that.
Like,
It's very D&D.
It's I'm glad to know just how good and bad he is. Like,
Chaotic.
it's like they were
neutral.
trying to give us a metaphor, but just like hit us on the head with it.
Subtlety in this film.
There's a lot of subtlety.
I've seen so many videos of turtles. I must be a good person.
So I'm gonna kill this man. Oh, it's a turtle.
Oh man, what if we had to kill like Michelangelo, the painter, or the turtle? Like, be a dilemma, wouldn't it?
They weren't the same person. Anyway, we're hurtling into the last
The
30
Wilhelm
minutes
scream
of this
because
film.
they're crawling up the thing. Is it when he
God.
sweeps that guy's legs out?
No, the
And
Wilhelm
punches
screams
him.
when there's an explosion and he like dives off the off the hill.
Because as they're creeping up the thing, like he sweeps out someone's legs and just whams him. I'm like, one guy defending this entire base.
Yep.
And yet there's
Because in
loads
a
of
minute,
dudes
like-
downstairs.
They set off the alarms. It was when they've all come up, like ready to fight the AN, and an explosion happens way in the background, and some guy just leaps off the thing, and you get a Wilhelm scream, which apparently was like one of the first non-Disney related movies to actually do it.
Ah.
I wonder how much that costs.
Most of the budget.
I also like the fact all the way through the announcers are like, all non-personnel on duty must have their firearms. Like, there's all these just random
There's a
messages.
shift manager there somewhere,
Yeah.
isn't there? In this vast
There's
bureaucracy.
a lot of
underground.
admin in Bison's underground hollowed out volcano base.
There's people like, oh, can I have leave on Tuesday? No, well, I'll check. Where's
Unfortunately,
that
we can't
bit
go
of the
down the river because it's full of exploded stealth boat. So
Have you seen those those guys on TikTok that like read text message people who've got bad bosses?
No, I don't
Oh,
use
no.
TikTok.
Ah, could you imagine? Like, literally, it's like text conversations. You're like, where are you? You're supposed to be in today. No, I booked it off last week. I didn't say you could book it off. No, you signed it off last week. Like, could you imagine this sort of stuff? Where are you? The base is being attacked. I'm on holiday. Who said you could have holiday?
Out of office is on. I'm not going to do it.
Also, no, it's very easy to assault this thing as well, because instead of staying in the base and letting them come to them, they all run out through like 2 doors and just get like explosive. It's like the 300. It's
like the base is really small for the amount of people that are actually there, because they're always trying to like run around each other.
Yeah.
Guile falls down a mine shaft and there's a spider, which I was like, yay, like a spider. It's always good in the film. And then he's like, if I'm not back in 20 minutes, I'm dead. I was like, well, you don't even know what's down
Just
there,
wait
mate.
longer.
It could be like the water temple in Ocarina of Time. You've been there fucking hours. He goes down, he has a mooch about for a bit, and then like all hell breaks loose because they decide to just go in anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
It might have been 20 minutes. This film does not care about time.
No, because it goes from 3 days with the thingies to like 1 day. And like, what happened on day 2? Nothing.
Guile was just waiting in the morgue, just like, can't find me.
I need a good countdown for this. Yeah. So yeah, he comes in, starts shooting up people. You know, famous StreetFighter has guns.
Pow, 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 pow.
Oh.
Yeah.
We also get a bit where Bison he's just mooching around watching TV, and there's a journalist on screen talking about how the world is appealing and they might actually, do the deposit of money. The man on screen is Sander Van Keur, who's an NBC reporter who is quite well known in America. He was actually so well known as an NBC reporter during the 60s and 70s that he actually made it onto Richard Nixon's hit list.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine being on that list.
Now he works for the evil empire. Wow.
From one shady leader to another.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's just reported because the regular reporter has gone off sick somewhere.
Yeah, they got leave.
That's
they got
personal vendetta.
Personal development.
They gone to Shadaloo Disneyland. Yeah.
I like that shared vendetta day as well.
But it's the fact that he's like, DJ, check the bank account. He's like,
Nothing. You can't open a bank account without in there.
I was going to say, I thought you needed to put at least £1 in.
Yeah.
I tried to put a Bison dollar in there, but they wouldn't accept it.
Had some Bison dollars, some Monopoly money. Yeah. I brought some Tiger tokens. They wouldn't have them.
He also takes the time to open the hostage pit, which has, again, its own preset alert to do that.
Hostage pit opening.
Yeah.
Cheers. It's not even taped off that either. It's a health and safety nightmare, this building as well.
Poo?
Oh, they show them all lay on the floor going, oh, because I don't think they've been fed, so they wouldn't poo anyway, would they? But yeah.
Oh, it must stink in there, yeah.
If I was there, it would.
Anyway, he takes the time to address them. I mean, he gives them a sort of quality of service of, well, you're all about to die in 2 minutes or something.
Come here.
Set this wild beast on you who's been prepped. He's back there watching
of my own design.
No, he's been released because the guard reading nudie shadowloodies tops Dalsim doing it, and they have a fight, and he pushes Dalsim into the Sunny Delight soft pack holder, and there's explosions, and I was like, yes, we're going to get Bendy Dalsim now. No, he just gets a bit of a cut. Charlie comes out, kills the guy, and then as the pod thing, Guile comes in and he's like, Charlie,
it gets really dark.
Charlie, what have they done to you? And he's like, help me. And he goes, I'll shoot you in the fucking head.
Yeah, he goes straight
he's not a racehorse.
Doesn't think like, how can I fix this? How can I solve it? Right, mate.
No,
Soz.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to look
Not
terrible on all the lads'
just...
photos. No. He's just a killing machine, Guile. Yeah. Doesn't think, I maybe go and ask that doctor who's on the floor there, like, what's gone on here? Nah, just immediate euthanasia. Yeah. But then we get Monster Pod rising or whatever. He's like, I'll get in the Monster Pod. Because, again, if they didn't announce everything, he didn't have a clue that were going up. And
he was like, I've got the perfect way to exit that Monster Pod.
Does all the cocaine and just starts doing squats ready.
Quick, get all the smoke you can in there.
But they bring up all these spikes out of the floor, which means he must have known that they were never going to give him the money. Because why would you bother putting that in as well? If you know,
say what you want about Bison, he's all about.
He's a
the
man
drama.
of planning, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nothing
He's
else.
all about the drama.
He's got his fume cupboard. He's got spiky spikes. He's yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Ha! You're all going to get killed by an evil Orville the Duck." And no, what happens is like he's fucking. Is there a cannon in that?
It's the cut away, cut back.
It's Angel Summoner and BMX Bandits. Are you holding me up? No. Yeah, and he just hoofs Bison. And I'm like, all right, here we go. End game. Lovely stuff. Honda and Zangief have split off and are just having a slap fight / hug. Like all through the building. They've knocked through loads of walls and stuff because they're big lads.
At one point, over the model of Bisonopolis.
Yeah,
which is a really good scene.
making the Godzilla noises as well.
Kaiju
That's
film
good.
parody, yeah.
It's fun.
I mean,
Balrog's found some boxing gloves and he's just whamming people in the face as well now. 'Cause
Where did he get them from?
From the Bison Gym.
Bison Jim, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I don't
He's
know
like,
if
I'm
he can-
keeping these.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he can punch bullets out of the way.
It gives him more power.
Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
does because you don't hurt your hands, do you? That's the thing.
However, he can't open doors, so that's
Yeah.
That
Or
is
crisp
tricky.
packets.
oh,
Yeah.
Chris Packett.
DJ is going through like Bison's secret sex room trying to find something. He finds a big box.
Yeah.
I was trying to work out what was in that safe because there was some weird shit in there, but I couldn't make it out.
but I'm not sure. Before DJ slopes away, though, Bison's giving a speech about how they're going to face defeat with the stoicism of a true warrior.
Yeah.
And DJ just slowly slopes away in the background.
Again,
It's
that was a funny bit because
good.
he just kind of goes,
That was good.
yeah. But yeah, he gets this big wooden trunk and he's like, yes, that's me sorted.
Well, he reckons that's all the money, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Idiot. He doesn't even think to check it.
Doesn't check it.
No.
There's a lot going on, to be fair.
Especially as it's the same box from the Conclave as well.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
That
Yeah.
had Bison dollars in before.
Yeah. Although, was he there for that? Are nerds
No.
allowed to
It's
the
like-
Conclave?
It's
Oh,
like
no, no,
Schrodinger's booty, though, isn't it? It's like you could have anything. If I don't open it,
If
The
there
price
isn't an
does- might
adult
have
film called Schrodinger's Booty, then I don't want to live in this world.
that's next week, I think.
Oh, Christ. It's like worse than Lady Farm. Yeah, and then Ken and Ryu have a fight with Sagat and Vega, who has got some claws again. Because,
Yep.
you know,
He keeps getting
Man,
them.
maybe
Maybe
he
Maybe
just
just
We'll
grows them.
find them.
It's like, where do you keep getting these from?
It's like Wolverine, but they're detachable, I think. I honestly don't
Oh,
know.
Also, this fight was like added in later. This was post principal
Post
photography.
9/11.
Was all. This is all like, oh, we need something here with Ryu and Ken. I
It's a
guess
good
we'll-
fight.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
It's just fun.
There's a
just
good
kinda-
comedy
Yeah, they had
bit
to-
where he punches the
filmed a
punchy
load.
ball.
Yeah,
And
they had
it's
to
a guy
film a
just
load
like-
in Vancouver afterwards because they
Yeah.
ran out of time or something. That must have been one of these scenes then.
We had to throw out a lot of stuff they did when they were shooting on location because it didn't work. So when they ran out of time,
That's because they were like
And-
6 days overrun, weren't they? And
Yeah.
they were only allowed to film in Thailand for 10 days, and they were
Yep.
6 days behind.
Jeez. And 3 of those was Jean-Claude Van Damme's hump session.
Yeah,
basically,
Shit.
and they couldn't move.
And you think The Rock
release
pissing in a
date.
bottle's bad?
They couldn't move the release date because it was a Christmas release date, and obviously they had wanted all the toys and that to be ready. And
Oh, how badly they misjudged
Yes.
this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. The
And
more
yet
you
made
know.
the greatest movie of all time by mistake.
The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Yeah, so he flees. They have this fight. The Guile and Bison fight. It's all right.
By
Like,
the way, sorry, just to come back to that with DJ running away,
yeah,
he ran to Mystery Island and became a voodoo.
what?
hang on, what? Sorry, I think I
What?
must have dozed off there.
So the guy that plays DJ is the voodoo guy in Scooby Doo the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh, right,
So
okay.
in my own
Right.
headcanon, like that's what's happened. He's
Miguel
run.
Nunez.
He's
Yeah.
taken the
Bison
Bison
dollars.
and gone to Mystery Island. And
I've
like,
not watched
start-
Scooby Doo films in a while. I really should.
Ah,
They're very good.
He's,
Yeah.
You know, he started up his voodoo stuff over there. He's like, look, I've been an evil
They
dictator.
accept
Like,
Bison dollars there, do they?
you know what? This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Old
Bison.
currency. You just call it. We named them voodoo dollars.
Voodoo dollars.
Scribbled
bucks.
off Shadaloo and just wrote Vinda. No,
Wrong part of the
Voo.
world.
Wrote Voo in front of it. Yeah.
Oh, we
So-
start to get a few Street Fighter moves in this bit as well.
Mm.
Like a rubbish
yeah.
Hadouken, and
Do we get
So-
Hadouken?
he kind of does
I'm
like
sure I
a
saw one.
fireball type move, and a flash happens, and that's Hadouken.
Oh,
And
we
we get a
do get a,
Tatsumaki and a Shoryuken.
we do get a hurricane kick. Yeah.
We
That's-
get a Guile flash kick in this fight with Bison, and we
All
get
of them, all at once, like
And-
in no other
and
part of the
Bison's
film.
lightning.
Right, get him
We
in
get
now. We're on
Lightning,
day
and
10.
we sort of get a rubbish Psycho Crusher.
That's after. That's when he comes back. So
Yeah, that's
Guile,
true.
while Guile's fighting, Cammy phones him on a Game Gear, it looks like. And she's like, "There's fighting outside, sir. Oh, blimey, yeah, jelly deals and all that." And he's like, "Yeah, all right. I'm a bit busy at the moment. All right." And then he puts it somewhere because anyway. He kills Bison, right? Like he punches him into is it into the flying stand thing? No, it can't be. I think he pushes him into
the
a computer
control
blank.
station
Yeah.
for the monitors or something.
Yeah,
it's,
something like
it's the big monitors, isn't it?
yeah, and he dies, and then he's like, "Right, let's get out of here, everyone." And then we get like another big screen going, and Bison rejuvenation process begins. And like it restarts his heart and stuff. And I'm like, he could just do this forever, surely.
It's
Like,
Super Shredder.
it is
Super Shredder, yeah.
He can start cutting his arms and legs. It is fun to scratch. Yeah, so he comes back, and then we get this great speech about his anti-magnet technology or whatever it is.
I love this type of thing because they've gone up to the game and
Electroconductive
gone.
magnetism.
That-
Yeah.
oh yeah.
They've looked at the game and gone, Bison's psycho power. That's too ridiculous. We can't have that in this film. We'll replace it with electromagnetism, and we won't explain what that means.
But let's try to explain it through science.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same science that lifts bullet trains and makes my platform whiz about the place. I also got it in my shoes. I was like,
No, you
Why?
have to explain more if you want.
I would lead with the shoes. I'm like, look at this shit. Okay. Want some off the top shelf? Come and see me. Like,
It levitates me, is what he says.
That's the line.
But then why does he use the platform the whole time?
Just want everyone to know he's got special boots on. That's what it is. Top secret.
They'd be wanting some of them shoes.
Everyone would be wanting them. Be a
Yeah,
nightmare.
definitely. I
Wouldn't be
want
special then, would you? Yeah, and then he kind of does like the Psycho Crusher. He electrocutes him a bit, and we get some good Jean-Claude Van Damme electricity acting.
The greatest actor, isn't he?
I've got the things are rushing past at such a pace at this point. These are my notes, right? Someone gets nearly chucked into an incinerator. A room of slaps. Hostages punched into safety. Like it's just so much visual.
You get
Yeah.
a 100-hand slap.
Yeah. Oh, we do get like 100-hand slap. Yeah. Yeah, they are kind of quite brutalizing them UN hostages as well. Get out! Like, head to the light, I think he says, which is what that little lady says to Carol Ann as well. Which
Get to the stealth boat.
the stealth boat's in bits, mate. We don't.
Get to
$11
the
billion
chopper. No,
that
hang on.
cost.
They could have just paid Bison.
It was his maiden voyage as well. That's the sad thing.
Oh, is that with Titanic?
Yes, the Shy-Tanic in this case. So they're having this lecture about he's electrocuting him some more, and then like, is this like where Zangief has a change of heart? And he's like, they go like, no, like Bison's a knobhead, and he goes, oh, okay then. Like,
He says the enemies of peace and freedom are our walls. He's like, no. Dude is like, no. Quite the
also
opposite.
the fight
you
between
got
Honda,
paid.
the fight between Honda and him.
Yeah.
Honda just goes, I've got to go now, and he goes, all right. Like,
Logic. It's great though, isn't it? He's like, you never see this kind of logic in a movie. He's like, mate, I'm busy.
yeah.
All right, cool, fair.
All right, well, we had fun. We smashed up that Model City. That was a laugh. Well, I'll remember that. Yeah, and then you got paid. Hey, another joke.
Got paid. He's the funniest in the film.
He's so good.
Because it's just how deadpan he is as well.
My wife plays Zangief in Street Fighter entirely because of his portrayal in this movie.
Yes.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's Bison stood over Guile. He's got the upper hand. He's going to kill him. And then like he just sweeps his legs out and yeets him into the computer screen, doesn't he? And he explodes.
Yeah, he just kicks him into the computer screen, yeah.
Sweep the leg.
Which is enough apparently to overload the magnetic core of the base? Question
Yep.
mark?
I don't know what that means.
Self-destruct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did they not think, on the day that woman was recording all the voice things for this, like, well, we've got to have the self-destruct mechanism and countdown in there, obviously. Not saying it's going to happen, but, if it does happen.
She's like,
It is
I
on
can,
the list.
I can pre-record this one, though, if you want. No, it'd be funny if you did it live. Have you got a radio mic or anything? No.
Like, does she know that they're the bad guys? Because you only record self-destruct in bad guy bases.
No, the Enterprise had a self-destruct sequence, and they were the good guys.
I don't know, colonizers.
I mean, that's a story for another time, isn't it? First, the prime directive, unless you're Captain Kirk, in which case it's snog everything, isn't it? Yeah.
You mean they were the bad guy?
So yeah, they all like everyone's outside, and Van Damme goes, "I'm gonna go down this tunnel." Everyone's like, "We're going," and he's like, "I got to find Charlie."
Oh, it's Charlie.
So he goes and finds Charlie. He's like, "Come on, Charlie, you can come and live with me in the shed, I guess, or whatever." And Dalsim's like, "No, he's staying with me. I'm going to stay here and get exploded for what I done." And I'm like, "All right, then, bye."
You could have just let him shoot him earlier.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is this how he gets the electric powers?
If there was a Street Fighter the movie 2,
Which there was in development.
Yes.
somehow the first line is Dalsim. Somehow he survived. I'd be like, everyone's outside and they're all going, "Oh no, Guile's done an explode. Oh well, he only died 2 days ago as well because no one else in the world knows he's alive."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was going to be a plan for him to sneak away, right? But no. And then he comes out and he's like, "Oh, what's for lunch? Subs." All right, and then the best bit in the entire film is where they all jump up into a
No,
boat.
no, you are forgetting
Yeah.
the bit that's been worked on throughout this entire movie that they seed with the thumb with Zangief, and he's like, "Yeah, I respect you," with his thumb to the side, and he's like, and Zangief's mind gets blown. Oh my god!
Yeah.
So many opportunities.
Because I've seen everyone else doing that. I didn't think, I should do that as well. Oh, and also we get Sagat and DJ on the riverbanks trying to get into the husk of Stealth Boat to escape.
Tales of the Riverbanks.
And they open it up, and it's the Bison Bucks, and Sagat is like, "Ha ha ha!" throws it all around everywhere while DJ cries because he's never going to get to live his voodoo dream on Scooby-Doo Island.
Why did they put those two together? Like, they haven't interacted in the entire movie.
So you can imagine.
They're bad guys.
Yeah, bad guys. It's
bad
Vega who gets his face burnt in the incinerator as well. Yeah, during the fight.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because he's so pretty.
Because that metal it must be super conductive. That metal because it heated up proper fast as well to burn his face. But yes, then they're all like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe we are just street fighters." And then they all strike a pose to their
They'll
characters.
do a victory poses, yeah.
Yeah, and then it ends, and then it goes in the memory of Raul Julia, and I'm like,
Via con
Christ.
Dios.
The original post-credit scene as well.
There's a post. Oh mate, I don't think I saw that.
There's right at the end. There's like rubble moving and like bison like.
Oh.
Yeah, it's brilliant because then it doesn't his hand lift up to like a menu and it says, "What's on the menu today, General?" And then it selects world domination. Would you like to play again? No.
You have used driving wedge.
All is in parking lot.
Please insert 3/4.
Wow, I didn't know there was a post-credit sequence like fucking He-Man. Yeah,
Yep.
like oh.
And
that's-
Marvel were watching this and they thought, yes, let's do that.
Let's do this, but worse and better, depending on what's in there.
Let's write a worse villain than this,
Yeah.
but like better heroes.
I can, because at the end, when they all did the poses, I was going, "Who's that?" There was one of them, I had no clue who it was. It's like,
Was it
Percy.
Ken? Because that was not Ken in that film.
No, it wasn't Ryu.
No.
Ryu!
That was the film Street Fighter 1994.
Oh.
It is a fun film, I will say.
I love it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I as an adult, I enjoyed it more than as a teenager because I think I was so expecting to just see like a punch kicker, blood sporty type, just them going at each other and then be no story, but it'd have some great fight sequences. And instead, we got a bewildering analogy.
It's just so weird. But it's because it's one of those things where, like, behind the scenes, to me, has such adds to the mythos of the film.
Yeah.
Like, if I watched that film without knowing all that stuff, like I'd heard about the behind the scenes of it, I don't think it'd be as good.
No,
I agree.
Watching it, knowing that Van Damme was just off his tits on cocaine the whole time.
23% of the budget went on his wages.
As well, this is like he doesn't do the splits in this film.
No.
And this is the first film he's ever made that's not an R-rated movie.
Oh, do you reckon they got lured him in when it'll be R-rated and then Hasbro got involved?
I think they just lured him in by going, cocaine.
like E.T. and Reese's Pieces. Just load him onto set every day. Are you the cocaine wrangler? Right, there's your rations.
Get him!
I just love that, you watch like documentaries or commentary or whatever, making ofs, and usually that answers some questions about the film. But in this case, you just have more. You're like,
I didn't
and
know
usually,
there was a director's commentary.
How did you make a film? How did you make a somewhat serviceable film out of this mess?
How did you shoot the majority of a film in 10 days if that's all you had in Thailand?
But as well, so when they submitted the movie, for ratings, because it had to have this hard PG-13, they submitted the rating and it got an R rating. So they had to go back and make a load of amendments to it.
So there is an R-rated version somewhere?
Yeah, but that's why they apparently couldn't afford to do any of the powers, like the lightning and the firebolts and stuff like that.
Oh,
because the film comes at a price.
Yeah, yeah. So then they resubmitted it and it came as a U, so an all ages rating. And that was still wrong because they had this hard deadline with
PG-13.
with Capcom that it would be PG-13, so they had to redo it again.
Just going, can we put one boob in? Will that be enough? How do you do it? How do you just beef up the ratings?
Kylie?
They literally beef it up by when Guile is clawing in the air ducts, he says, "I'm too old for this shit." And that shit,
really? They put one
enough
shit in
to
it,
bump it up to PG-13.
Wow, man, James, you're gonna have our job. Before we get to James's facts, if there's any left, I don't know. I think we've probably gone through them all there. John, your rating for Street Fighter?
It's not a 10. We're gonna have words.
Oh,
well, we normally do. It's 1 to 5 in bronze, silver, and gold.
Okay.
As a Street Fighter adaptation.
No, as a standalone film on its own. If you didn't know anything about the street fighting,
it gets $5 Bison, which is worth 25.
Well, it will be worth 25 English pounds if we kidnap the Queen, which can't be that hard because she's dead now.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
That's very clever. That may have broken our voting system.
Mate, don't worry about it. Ethan, you're scoring.
Oh, that's $1 billion Bison, honestly. it's so the problem is this movie just brings me so much joy.
Yeah, makes me smile.
I think it may go into my rotation of films of just daft shit I don't have to focus on very much.
I think it's one of those where when you know a little bit about it, the bad stuff becomes the great stuff.
Yeah.
And then the good stuff you just get to enjoy because Raul Julia is incredible.
Yeah. The hat of trees. Tree of hats.
Yeah, it's there's no point in this movie where I sit there and I'm like, I'm bored of this now. Because every time I watch it, I just get really excited for either the next good bit or the next really shit bit.
Yeah. James, your score.
I'm going to agree with that. I went into this thinking 1 silver stealth boat, but I have bumped it up to because I didn't realise that there was just so much that went wrong and it becomes this weird misshapen thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm resting on.
I'm going to go 5 silver pigtails. Because it's that good joke, isn't it, when Cammy and Chun-Li meet? Pigtails? Look at you. And she's got puffs in her hair, hasn't she? Yeah, you see. Improvised that line, Kylie. 8 years groundlings, yeah.
That's what time on Neighbours will give you.
Yes. Right, if there is anything left. Nope, that's not that noise.
All those facts. So that was Street Fighter 1994, the same year as our previous podcast episodes on the Fantastic Four. So Marvel were waiting around the corner, weren't they? And Dinosaur Island. So it was a $35 million budget, which is...
Wait a minute, let me do some maths.
Are you figuring out what it is in Bison dollars?
I'm figuring out how much Jean-Claude Van Damme got paid for this.
Yeah,
23% of 23. He got paid near enough $5 million for this.
8 million.
Yeah.
Maths is hard.
Yeah. It made $99 million at the box office. Well,
what?
So yeah,
so it was a box office success of a movie.
Yeah, I mean, also I suppose that's part of the point about it coming out at Christmas, is that everyone's off and everything.
There's nothing else on to watch. Yeah.
With that, you could buy yourself, and this is adjusted for inflation, before anybody asks, and I know they always will. With that, you can buy over 56,000 brand new Street Fighter 2 arcade machines, which are priced at about $3,000 each. Or,
Ooh.
if you prefer, a fleet of 6,543 stealth boats.
Yes! We can
That's the
race
Stealth
them.
46M anti-radar vessel worth $32K in dollars, which is clearly made for drug dealers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want to pull
How
your
else we
visor
getting-
down.
Do you reckon?
How else we getting Van Damme's cocaine?
I was going to say, he didn't have a brainwave. He just got his delivery and he's like, can we borrow your boat for an afternoon, pal? Okay, but make sure you put the visors on.
Won the 1995. It got 2 nominations for the Saturn Award: Best Science Fiction Film, sort of. And Best Supporting Actor for Raul Julia, which I suppose by that point would be posthumous.
Yeah.
So yeah, it also had a flop sequel that we mentioned in 2009 called Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun Li.
Oh no! So that's
Did
so
that
they
not release?
That's not the sequel they released. Well, so there was talk of a Street Fighter 2 sequel to this, and they'd recast like Kylie Minogue for like Holly Valance and a couple of other bits. But like, yeah, they were trying. I think it was like 2000. They were trying to do it.
Did this become a Dead or Alive movie or something?
Yeah, she ended up
Oh.
in a Dead or Alive movie and is now a
Yeah,
massive story.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm not going to go into Van Damme's politics. So
No. It's just wait. So
Uh,
the Chun Li one isn't a sequel. It's a
Nope.
reboot
Yeah.
or a spin-off.
It's
Or...
just
Yep.
something
Van
different.
Damme was offered to be in it, which would have made him the only person returning from the first one. But essentially, it's its own thing.
Oh right. Is it better than this?
No,
All right. Is
I've
it
not
bad,
watched it, but it's bad,
All right.
bad. Yeah,
I hear it's
got
just
the guy
bad.
from American Pie in it that wasn't successful.
Jason Biggs.
No, wasn't successful. Like
Jason Biggs did Loser and nothing else, to my knowledge.
he did he had like a sitcom about genius children.
Young Sheldon.
Really
No,
not
no.
successful.
But like the one that had the girl, the one that was the jock that was like mates with them that wasn't Stifler.
Oh.
Him.
I
He
can't
was-
think of it. Oh right. Well, I'll probably watch it at some point just to see.
Yeah.
You know.
It'll end up on this at some point. We're just like a dragnet for everything at the bottom.
We're clearing out the
It was-
canal though.
Exactly. We're dredging. It's written and directed by Stephen E. D'Souza. As we've already said, reportedly deferred his salary to pay for the cast because there was no money left. What haven't we said about it? Yeah, Hudson Hawk and the Flintstones, for which he received a Razzie each for worst screenplay.
Oh,
Which must have been
come
a
on.
low moment. Also did something called Robot Monster in 1982, which intrigued me.
Yeah,
I immediately
but
want
let's
to watch
move
that,
on.
yes.
Chun-Li Zhang was Ming-Na Wen. She said that she cringed after seeing the finished film the first time and told her ER co-star, George Clooney, that she feared that her career would be over. But she later went on to be Mulan in Mulan 1998, Legend of Mulan. I don't know how many times I can get Mulan into that sentence. General Bison, Raul Julia, Gomez Adams, of course, accepted the role because his children were fans of the Street Fighter games and he wanted to participate in a film that he thought that he could enjoy with them. He reportedly used Benito Mussolini's hand gestures, Joseph Stalin's mannerisms, Pablo Escobar's elusiveness, and Adolf Hitler's love of arts.
I don't remember.
So unhinged.
I don't remember seeing the bit where Bison was hiding round a corner waiting to jump out
Yes, he is elusive though. No, because he hides in the panic
in the
room,
fume
doesn't he?
cupboard. Yeah, all right, I'll give you that.
And I suppose that is quite Pablo Escobar. It's a really kitted out chamber.
Yeah. He was known for his love of buttons that are labelled. Yeah.
But yeah, apparently it was a joy to work with. And must have been a really, really tough year for him as well. So let's move on. I've got one left, and it's a tie-in to something that we've already done, Joe. DJ Miguel Nunez was the executive producer of the 2014 comedy drama musical film School Dance.
Is that the sexy one, not
The
the
Nick Cannon
chair?
one.
Oh, mate, really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
God.
But also Leprechaun 4 in space.
Mate, it's a classic.
Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, less of a classic.
I always just
And
think
something
about
called-
Partridge with that.
A Hallmark adjacent film Christmas in Compton 2012. Yeah, and that's it. We've exhausted all the facts that were on IMDb.
And
Go on.
all of them from everywhere. Like, yeah.
I didn't
learned so
expect
much.
that. School Dance came up, and I was like, "Wow!" I did not want to see School Dance anytime soon. And thus, James Fax is put into a barrel and heaved away for another day.
as you would expect with something of this caliber, there is a lot of 10 out of 10s giving sort of sarcastic reviews and stuff, which I feel is a bit unjustified because, as we've said, it is very much a guilty pleasure film. Like, it's a lot of fun.
I have no guilt about this.
No, but I didn't realize it did so well at the box office, to be fair. I didn't either. I thought it bombed massive.
No, it critically panned, but
yeah.
It made
I don't know what he did on video, but that was probably huge.
Yeah, but Barry Norman's dead and Jean-Claude Van Damme's alive, so who's laughing now, innit? Yeah.
And it was enough to get like a Blu-ray super release. So
I know. Well, John said he's got it when it's got like a director's commentary, which I'm gonna have to watch.
Yeah, I was hoping to watch
just
it
him
before
going. I don't remember any of this.
Why did I do this?
What did I? What? just confusion for 90 minutes.
I hope it is.
The other way is like, so what I'm trying to do here is if you look at like classic Japanese cinema, it's just like, what, when Vega's stabbing that dude with a real knife. Yeah.
This is actually homage to Akira Kurosawa.
So I did find a 1-star review. I haven't read it, but I just went off the name. It's entitled Crappiest Movie Ever by Dangerous Lee Handsome.
Oh, good name.
Dangerous Lee. You see what he's done there? That's clever. Yeah. It's a shame that they turned the world's best fighting game into one of the worst movies ever. Well, when you think about it, there has never been one good or even a decent movie based on a video game. Mortal Kombat sucked, Resident Evil stank, and Tomb Raider bored the hell out of me. All these movies were bad, but Street Fighter is in a class of its own. Crappy fighting, crappy acting, an Oscar-worthy plot and ensemble cast. Haha. And Van Damme as Guile. What a joke. And if you thought that was hilarious, check out Gomez Adams himself as the sinister M. Bison. Then there is...
No.
Don't
be coming for...
I said, I will put up with the Guile slander, but the hill I will die on is that Raul Julia is the best goddamn thing in this film.
Best film ever.
I've rewatched The Addams Families again recently, and they're tremendous fun as
well. So good.
Then there is Blanca, played here by the Incredible Hulk, I think, who looks utterly laughable. The movie has absolutely no continuity with the game, showing a true lack of any knowledge about the source material. Bottom line, avoid this movie. Now, as I said before, dangerously, if it was just a Bloodsport movie or... is it Blood Fist was the ones that we did?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be boring. Yeah. Like, you can't just have people doing fights. If you want that, watch UFC. Like, you know what I mean?
They specifically wanted to avoid the sort of tournament setup that other films have done.
They do it in Mortal Kombat, which, again, is a good film. I like Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Resident Evil's all right.
Nah, I watched Street Fighter and then I was like, nah, I don't need to watch anymore. I found the perfect one.
The reboot in Mortal Kombat's pretty good as well, actually. Yeah. Resident Evil, I quite like the first one. And
Resident Evil,
progressively worse
she runs up a wall and flying kicks a dog, and I was like, yes, 5 stars.
Yeah, no notes.
Yeah.
A man gets chopped into cubes by a laser. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah, like, what more do you
need?
Tomb Raider is cack, though, I will say. But yeah. But I would. Van Damme lets it down. If you'd have got someone else in that role,
the problem is, I don't think you can. The way Van Damme plays this role makes plays. The way Van Damme is just coked off his tits in this role it just makes you appreciate Raul Julia that little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, it's like me having why all the handsome people hang out with me because I make them look good by comparison. Yeah,
exactly.
It was actually an acting choice he made. It was a.
I've got a great idea for the role. What is it?
Raul, I know you're dying, so as your make-a-wish, I'm going to be dog shit in this movie. Oh, okay, thank you. Because that's what I imagine he was like all the time. But yes, it's grown on me, I will say.
The thing is, like, to me, it's one of those movies that I just remember from when I was a kid, like watching on BBC One at like 11 o'clock. Like in the early 2000s, like this and Starship Troopers and, you know, like those sorts of movies. And then like I also used to love like the Three Ninjas movies as well. Like, you know, all those kind of things. Like that movie, like that was my movie like selection back in the day. That and Power Rangers. Like,
of course.
You know, it's not shifted since.
It's not.
Clearly.
This is
and
it.
Here we are.
And here we are.
All music after 97's terrible. Like,
just end cinema. We've reached the peak.
It don't get no better.
So, like lots of people, like Raul Julia gives a great performance, but you know what? I do take great joy at Jean-Claude Van Damme in this movie.
Yeah.
To just see what went through his brain where he just goes, "Rah!" And like,
do you reckon you can buy the script? Like, just to see if it goes, and then Guile gives the,
I hope so. I really hope so.
We'll never know. We'll have to wait for the director's commentary. It's like, I didn't tell him to do that.
We could do a
In fact,
commentary.
I
on
didn't
this
tell him to
episode.
do any of the things he did. In conclusion, that was 1994's Street Fighter. Ethan, where can people find you and what have you got coming up?
So they can find me online. Just, I don't know, search for Bison dollars. They can find me in
Mate,
Bisonopolis.
we should do a cryptocurrency.
It's just asking for it, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh, you can find me at bisondollars.com.
That's 5 English Queen pounds.
I want to buy that URL right now.
You can find me at Ethan Announces on Twitter and Instagram, and then I'm around on Facebook as well, and all that sort of lovely stuff. You can find me mainly either in 2 places. One would be Odyssey Pro Wrestling, based in Morecambe, if you are a northerner, or if you're a southerner, at Tamar Community Wrestling in Plymouth.
Go to either one of them because they're both very, very fun nights out. I've only been to the Morecambe one, but John comes all the way from Scotland.
I do come all the way down from Edinburgh just for OPW.
Because it's a very, very fun.
I'm not telling you anything that's going to happen at the next show, but all I'm going to tell you is if you miss it, I swear to God, you're going to regret it.
I can't go. It's James's wedding.
I promise you are going to
James, move your
That's
wedding.
a threat as well.
James's
you are
wedding.
going to regret it. Like it's. There are things that are planned.
I'm booked.
I'm
I told you,
raging, mate.
my wedding's got entrance music to it.
Yeah, I know, but it's not
It
Bobby
could be the
Roode's
same thing, who
glorious.
knows?
Oh, mate.
I'm saying
Katie
no more.
rolling Northern Light suplex you down the aisle. I'd be a very happy man. No, I'm not. I can't make it, unfortunately, because I've got a wedding to go to. And I know, first one I've missed in so long. Yeah,
I'll be there.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, like, let's your favorite one quote, because we could do loads from this film.
favorite one quote. I mean, the thing is, the go-to is for you, the day I raided your father's village is the most memorable day of your life. But for me, it was a Tuesday. However, quick, change the channel.
Yeah.
I quote that daily.
Weirdly, on the IMDb. Oh no, there's loads. Oh, here's a good one. You still refuse to accept my godhood. Keep your own god. In fact, this might be a good time to pray to him.
Yeah.
For I beheld Satan as he fell from heaven, like lightning. Yeah.
Probably the
So
best
good.
time.
It's so good.
Yeah.
This conclave is over.
Conclave.
And with
Well,
that, this conclave
game
is over.
Over.
Say
Game
goodbye,
over.
boys and girls.
Bye.
Linda Lovelace invented Bluetooth.